leadership only on old things and old contacts, it's not that exciting. So, but when they showed their interest, I was curious to listen to them. And as I said, it was a good meeting in Oslo. I remember I went back after the meeting and felt like, this sounds interesting. But still, it's my responsibility also to get to know more about Swiss hockey, because I need to show the respect. I can't come here as a Swedish coach and changing the whole world. I have to understand some parts, but still, I guess one part why they signed me is that I should come here with something new.
Yes.
And I hope I can bring that here.
In which way do you know the Swiss club hockey?
I think you asked me yesterday, and when I was a kid, when I was young, there was good Swedish players moving to Switzerland. And you read about them, and you watch some highlights, watch some clips. Now, the last years, I know really good Swedish players has been in Switzerland in different teams. Coaches have been here. There are more coaches Swedish coaches here now. Actually, the Swedish coach for the national team signed Zurich a few days ago. So I know of them. Olten, to be honest, I looked it up. There was only 2 Swedish players ever played there. Christian Gahn and Stefan Hellqvist.
Yeah.
I know Bengt-Åke Gustafsson has been coaching here. I actually met him this year in Norway. But still, when we had the dinner yesterday, I got some messages from some players, Swedish and North American players who played in Switzerland. Good players saying congratulations to a great job, and no one have said to me like Olten is not a good place or Olten is not a good club. The opposite, people are saying that, wow, good for you. And I like what they explained to me, that it's a small town, it's a hockey town. I'm from the same. I like that kind of atmosphere. I think if I listen to people, I made the right decision. We'll see, but it feels like that.
You grow up in Leksand, right?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about your growing.
Yeah, the thing
how
is,
did you
I'm born
became
in
a hockey player?
Yeah, I'm born in a hockey family. My father actually played, I think, maybe 150 games for the national team. He has his jersey in the arena in Leksand. He played for 16 years. He's a big name back in the old days. So I grew up in the locker room almost.
Nice.
I have 2 older sisters. Now, when we're older and we have a good relation, we laugh about that because they hated hockey, because everything was about hockey. And I have a younger brother who was much better than I was. I quit playing when I was 20, not because of an injury, just because I wasn't good enough. I was lazy. I felt like it's better to tell other people what to do. I could have played for 10 years, not in the top league, but it felt like I was done with it, and I don't regret that at all. And the good part with growing up in that kind of small hockey town is that you don't get starstruck about players. I don't make a difference between people. If I meet, for example, Filip Forsberg playing for Nashville, he lives neighbor to my sister. I say hi to him in the same way I say hi to an old friend from school. We talk about Swiss hockey. Neighbor to my parents is Magnus Svensson. He played in Lugano and Kloten maybe for a few years. Mats Valtin, living in the same town. Mikael Karlberg played 3-4 years, I think, in Zurich and Freiburg. So just to grow up close to hockey people, make something with you. Hockey is a huge part of my life. Sometimes it's too big. The last years I have told myself you have to back off sometimes. And I'm getting better in that, because if I think hockey 24/7, you get crazy. I really like to be here in the morning, start up the day, work with the players. I like to be here and work for the whole day. But then you have to turn it off. On and off is important for me. And that's something I guess I got from growing up with hockey. So I'm definitely injured in that way because hockey has been a huge part of my life. And there's only 3-4 days every year, I would say the day after losing a tough loss, that I for 5 minutes can think, what can I do instead of hockey? But then I have a coffee and I find out that this is what I want to do. So I started early. I've been coaching in 20 years now. I like when people say I'm young because you start to feel older when you're over 40. But if I compare to many coaches, I'm still young. So for me to come here will also make me a better coach and a better person. And sometimes, because through the years now, I've said no to jobs where I know 99% would have said yes in Sweden, because it's important for them. It's a good name or good money. But for me, it has been important to do what feels right inside me. And that's not only the hockey. It's not only money. It's everything all together. So, yeah.
You will meet a much younger team than Olten had last year.
Yeah.
And especially the defense.
Yeah.
What means age to you?
Actually, that's something that was one of the big issues in a positive way when Mark talked about that, because this year and also last year I had an older team. I think the average age was 20, almost 28 years old. And the good things with old players is that they are smart, they know what to do, but sometimes they run out of ambitions. I'm looking forward to work with young players, because in a simple way I could say my job is two parts. One is to identify what kind of team do we have, how can I handle them and make them as good as possible from what they are today. But the other part is even more important. If I manage to make everyone better, then we'll have the good team. And that's a big part for me, but also for an assistant coach. That's why it's important for me to find a person who wants to make everyone better, who's ready to work some extra with them. Let's say we practice on the ice for 50 minutes or 60, 70 minutes all together. But maybe before or after the practice you might have 20 minutes extra with a young D, working with some moments, special things on the ice.